Back with another one of those block rockin' beats. KEL Show number 2. Fair warning, I don't really have anything prepared today again, but just count on these first 10 or so episodes to just be me figuring shit out. Although, rumor has it that maybe next time I might bring a friend, so I can at least talk to somebody instead of sitting here by myself, staring into a camera. But anyway, you live and you learn, and you do and you learn. That's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to learn. So cool, man. Thanks for coming by. If anybody's by, I don't even know. Let's see. We got, all right, yeah. Trying to tweak the problems. Hopefully we'll be getting better as we go along. So today, got my guitar again. I was trying to think of a cool song to play. I was actually thinking I might play an old one by my former band. I had a band called Low Dosed back in the day. That was the first time I was ever a singer, was in Low Dosed. And yeah, man, it was good times. A couple of friends. Put out a few albums, actually. But, you know, bands are hard. That's why nobody does it anymore. There's actually some kind of thing where, like, there's no bands in the top 10 or top 40 maybe even. And the ones that were this whole year were bands like the Beatles who, you know, I don't know, they've been around a while. Or were around for a while. So yeah, no new bands these days. Just solo artists. That kind of thing. I actually saw something about some of the biggest bands over the past, I don't know, 20 years or something like that. And it turned out to be 21 Pilots was one of them. It was weird. 2 dudes from Ohio. Trying a different beverage today as well. So anyway, what are we going to do? We're going to talk about some current events. Got some stuff that I picked up along the way to chat about. Some feelings. Happy Valentine's Day for those who celebrate. My wife and child are in another country visiting grandma, so I am spending Valentine's Day here, alone in the basement, talking to you. So, good times. Yeah, man. So what's new since the other day? Not much, really. Did a gig yesterday. It was, you know, it actually wasn't so bad. It was kind of quiet, which is nice. People actually listen to me play, which is even nicer. That's always a surprise, too. A pleasant one. And I actually, because when it started, there was not that many people there, so I was a little bit freer with the set list and played some, you know, some deep cuts, some older stuff that I don't get to play very much. And it seemed like people actually appreciated it, which is always nice. So, having said that, we're up for our second ever live stream on Twitch. Still looking to get that number 1 follower on Twitch. So Twitch, if you're out there, all the legions of viewers watching me right now, this is new, obviously. I'm just starting, but it's going to get better. Every time I think this is the worst that it will ever be. So every time it should be a little bit better here and there. Right now we're just talking. We're going to play some music. We're going to talk about music. I actually had a big plan to do up my whole new setup, but it requires ripping my current pedal board apart and putting the new one together, which I thought about even doing that just right here, right now on film. Just fuck it and just, you know, start ripping shit apart, putting it back together. But, you know, I don't know how that's going to work out. So what's new? I was checking out some music business news. weekly roundup. Basically, the quick summary is that everybody's raking in the money as opposed, like Spotify. Let's see. Spotify making billions of dollars. Yes, Sony's global music rights operation across recorded music and music publishing generated $2.7 billion in the 3 months to end December 2024. So the last quarter of 2024, Sony's music department generated $2.7 billion. In this dying music business, there's billions to be made. 7.1% year-on-year increase for Sony. ByteDance, the parent company of TikTok, has been building an AI music beast, it says, with a little help from the Beatles and Michael Jackson. Has a chatbot, which is currently the most popular AI assistant in China, with 78.6 million monthly active users in January. That's already like 78.6 million people using it a month already in January. It can also generate music. As we discussed last week, or last time, it wasn't even a week, it was 2 days ago. Last time, the AI music's already getting crazy. It's like, this is what it is now. Again, the worst it'll ever be is what we just heard. However, there was a case where the U.S. court ruled that using copyrighted material without permission to train AI does not amount to fair use under copyright law. So the court ruled against the AI company for training their AI on copyrighted material, which is cool. It's another little bump in the road for it, but once the cat's out of the bag, it's out of the bag, and it's not going anywhere. You're not going to regulate against it. It's like, it exists, so we just need to figure out how we're gonna use it and gonna incorporate it into our lives, because it's not going to go away. Nothing goes away. Yeah. So anyway, what else is good? I have these earphones in so I can hear myself talk and not create feedback in the room here, because I'm in my studio, and the mic is kind of sensitive for what I can hear. Now I can whisper and I can shout because I hooked up a compressor. So I keep hearing like noise in the walls or something, and it's kind of freaking me out right now. Yeah, weirdness. Anywho, I wonder how long it takes, or if there's ever a time when you turn the corner doing something like this, where it becomes more normal to sit and talk to a camera than it does to sit and talk to actual human beings. I've often thought that I was actually more comfortable on a stage, or, in this case, in front of a camera, talking to people than I ever was as a one-on-one kind of encounter. And I think I could turn that corner pretty quickly, to be honest with you. I don't know. We'll see what happens when people actually start replying and talking back to me. It seems like that we might, I don't know how long that's going to take. But I promise it's going to be more prepared in the future. I'll have some notes about what to talk about. Mostly now I've just been focusing on the tech, getting the picture better, working on the color scheme, the sound. So hopefully we're having some improvements. Thanks for joining me if you have. Don't be shy. Say hello. Hop in the chat. I'm going to get it started. That's good. YouTube. All right. Oh my God. Did I get a chat? Hi, Tom. What's good, man? Twitch. I'm new to Twitch. I've never really done much on Twitch except watch. I watched a lot of people playing music, and what always bothered me is like when it was supposed to be a live music stream, that anytime I would click on it, it was mostly somebody talking, much like you're seeing right now from me. And I always thought that was kind of annoying that if you're gonna do a live music stream, then you should perhaps play some music and talk a little less. But here we are. This is me doing it. I'll play a song pretty soon though. But I will be doing some music. I also had in the grand plan, there's going to be several set changes during this show. This will be the conversation pit area here, which you see when we get some guests down here on the couch chatting about, this and that. And then we'll have the area over there, which you can't see right now because it's a mess, and I'm not going to show it to you. Will be the live music area. And eventually we're going to have like a whole badass light show that goes with it. Maybe even some video projections. It's going to be sick. Really looking forward to it. I'm really excited about this whole process that's going on right now. So, let me know what to talk about, if there's anything you would like to hear from me. While I'm thinking about it, and while I'm talking about me being excited about what's to come, I heard this quote today at the gym on a podcast. I've just been into podcasts at the gym the last couple of weeks. The quote was, I should have written down who said the quote because it's rude to use people's stuff without giving them credit, but luckily nobody's really watching this, so that's cool. If more money wouldn't change the way you spend your time, then you're already rich. Which is beautiful, and it's kind of like the thesis of my entire life, I have to say, has been not even so much about everybody says, oh my God, you do music, so you get to do what you love, and it's so great, and you're so lucky and all this stuff. And it's like, first of all, it's obviously not luck. It was a series of choices and some sacrifices of stability along the way, because the beginning of music was definitely not very secure. Let's just say that. But the concept for me has not even been about chasing something you love. It's just been spending as little time as humanly possible doing stuff you hate. And I realized when I was young and I had a typical job, it's like it really didn't work for me at all, because I've always known inherently somehow that time was this fleeting, precious asset. And the idea of spending any time doing something that I didn't want to do, or being trapped somewhere doing something that I felt like was a waste of my precious time, then it really bothered me. I even remember this in school, actually, when I'd be sitting in school doing something, or teachers would give you busy work, or you'd have to just sit there, even though I was actually good in school, and I would get my stuff done quickly, and then I just feel like I'd still have to be there. Or we get homework and you have to do homework, and it was stupid and repetitive, and it's like, what's the point? And then we had this one teacher, I think it was in like 9th or 10th grade. Can't remember his name, but he said if you're doing homework that he gives you and you know it, I think it was in English, so it was like grammar homework or something. And he said if you know the answer, if you know all the answers, just write die on the paper and hand it to me. And die, D-I-E, stood for this is easy. And he said you can just write this is easy so you don't have to waste your time doing something that you already know how to do, which I thought was very cool and made me like that guy. And actually, English teachers have been the best teachers I've ever had. Of course, this guy, years down the road, got fired for being inappropriate with some of the female students, as it goes. So I don't know what happened to him, but I thought that was important. And I thought it was like giving some autonomy to some teenage kids that, you know, if you know something, you know it. So why waste your time doing something stupid? Anyway, I'm looking down here at the computer to see if anybody's talking to me. So far, no. But, you know, hey, it's all good. Humble beginnings and all that. It'll be fun. This is episode number 2. So I would, if you're here, if you're one of the 2 people that might see this, this is episode 2. Please come back. Weird noises again in my walls. Anyway, this is episode 2. If you happen to see this, please come back and chime in on episode 100 or something. And I'm going to give you a secret password. The password is Oscar. If you type in that password anytime after like 100 episodes, I'll have a special treat for you, like a surprise, like an actual prize. That would be amazing. Unless I know you in real life, then that doesn't count. If I know you in real life, you even know why the password's Oscar. So, back on the conversation about time and wasting time and spending time. Of course, I, like most people, would love to have more money. But my motivation about having more money and more success and all that thing is honestly, at this point, it's social proof that, especially as you start to become older as a man, especially, you tend to have to prove your value. And without having provable success, people take you less seriously. And in the society we live in, provable success is mostly financial, unfortunately. But from a personal perspective, the biggest motivator for me to be more successful is A, spending less and less time doing the things I don't like, which, although I play music and it's amazing, 90% of the time, there are those 10% things that I have to do sometimes that I don't really like to do. And, you know, I do take some gigs that I would probably not take if it wasn't for financial reasons. But the biggest thing is I just want to set up my kid that he doesn't have to think about chasing money for food when he's starting his life out. He's going to have to work, of course. I think everybody should have to work, regardless of how much money you have. You need to contribute something to the world and your life and society as a whole. But I spent so much time in the beginning of my life just trying to like survive financially, honestly. Just trying to, you know, pay the rent, eat, not be homeless, and those kind of things, that it was actual torture, and it just sucked so much of my energy and just being that I don't want him to have to do that to start. You know, I would like him to be able to put that energy and time and youth into something that's actually meaningful to him. So that's my dream, my goal. Actually, the Grammys were on, I don't know, I guess it was a couple weeks ago at this point. And Chappell Roan had a speech when she won Best New Artist about how labels should give some kind of basic minimum livable wage to the artists they sign, because a lot of the times, especially these days, like it's always been, but artists are so young when they sign this deal that you have no idea what you're signing. You just think somebody's going to make your dreams come true, and you have no idea what you're getting into. And if you don't have any money and you're getting paid to create, it's impossible to be free and creative when all you can think about is surviving. In the immortal words of one of my all-time heroes, Kanye West, and I know you're going to come after me for that, but he's done some fucked up shit lately. Lots of times. But in the immortal words of Kanye West, having money isn't everything, not having it is. When you don't have money for rent, you don't have money for food, all you can think about is getting money. You know, people always try to say, oh, money doesn't buy happiness and all this shit. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't buy extreme happiness, but on some level, it definitely does. There's even scientific studies about how money literally makes people happier. So, yeah. Money, 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 money makes the world go round. I got off on a tangent. I don't even remember what I was talking about. But yeah, anyway, me personally, if I had more money, I would basically just have a nicer place to work. My studio is pretty badass, to be fair, but I would have nicer stuff in it. I would probably pay somebody to connect it nicely, make it a little bit more convenient to do shit. I hate mixing creativity with tech. So when I'm trying to be creative, I hate to get stumped by, some technical issue or not, shit not getting connected right, or, God forbid I break a guitar string or something like that. It takes you out of the whole thing. So that would be my big luxury, would be nicer workspace. I would like a nicer kitchen. That would be sweet. I actually enjoy cooking, but I hate cooking in my kitchen currently because it's just not designed right, because I have a rental. So, dumb shit. I'm not going to, buy a Bugatti or anything like that. Just not into it. I would feel dumb in a fancy car like that. I'd probably get a nice big comfy Range Rover or something like that. But, to be honest with you, I'm kind of happy with my car that I have now, and it's just some family wagon. I can fit lots of music stuff in it when I have to. Man. So let's check some headlines. Yeah, back to the Sony thing. It's like another one of these K-pop bands is like the kind of top earner for them. I'd never heard it. I don't get it. Like, maybe I'm just too old for it, but I just don't get K-pop at all. Like, I don't get manufactured music like that. I admire the work they put in, these kids. I really do. Like, how hard it is, and I'm well aware of the kind of energy and dedication and discipline it takes to become something like that and put on that kind of performance and that kind of thing. But why anybody would want to make that part of their, I don't know, taste. I don't know. Hard for me to explain that one, but yeah. It's a weird thing with music, is you try to get better and better and better and better, but like my personal taste is there's definitely a point when you get too good where it's not interesting anymore. I think that's why I never really was into, jazz or prog rock or stuff like that. It's almost like it's just it's so good that it just sucks out the juice or something, makes it seem unreal. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. To me, it's something like when a girl gets a lot of plastic surgery. It's just like, it's like, okay. But you know it's not real somehow, so it's just weird. Yeah. So you ready to hear a song? I think I'm going to take a 2-minute break, get set up, maybe tune this guitar, refill my drink, and then we're going to do a song. So I will be right back. All right, we back. What up? Did you miss me? I'll play a song for you. Might keep this. I'll keep it a little shorter tonight. We'll see. I'm gonna put on the reverb. What? Yeah. I'm playing an old song. I did a few years back on an album with my old band Low Dosed. I wrote this song. Hi, buddy. I wrote this song. Yeah, just inspired by what was going on. Listen to the words, you might get it. The sky is falling down, 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 down. You better run for cover, 'cause it's a little bit unfunny. The joke's on everybody. It's a little bit too much to take, yeah. Cast out a line if you think you get lucky tonight. Don't dig a fence if you don't get the fishes to bite. So all my life I've fallen down, 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 and my heart is breaking. It's a little bit unfunny. The joke's on everybody. It's a little bit too much to take, yeah. It's a little bit unfunny. A change has got to come, 'cause it's a little bit too much to take, yeah. That was called Unfunny by me and my band Low Dosed from back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, man. Really thinking about doing this tech video thing. I don't know if it'd be interesting or not for most people. Probably not for most people. Obviously, it's not going to be very interesting for somebody who has no fucking idea about, guitar rigs or all that stuff. But I don't know. It might be kind of cool. Might be something to do. Sending love on the YouTube chat. I appreciate that. Is that you, Milesy? My little best bud out there watching. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day. I don't know, man. I think, like I said, next time I think hopefully a friend is going to come by. Talked about it. He's down. And all the other people that are going to come by and do the show actually have no idea that the show is even happening or that it exists yet. And they're probably out just living their lives innocently, thinking everything's cool. But little do they know they're going to be coming down here and spitting wisdom for you guys. Chop it up. Next time, though, I'm going to promise in public, right now, on camera, for the world to see, that next time we will have more of a production and actually do a solid little music set that's actually going to be like full production music, not just me sitting here and playing my guitar. So, you got my word on that one. I'm going to come up with the proper schedule as well. Right now, I think it's going to be at least Tuesdays and Fridays we're going to do this. We'll see how it goes. But I think that's a good thing to shoot for. I'm going to publish that shit on Twitch. And if you see this anytime in the future and there's something you would like to talk about or want to hear about, let me know. My story is long because I'm old, varied because I've done a few different things, and I've learned some lessons along the way. My only real hobby is actually just trying to learn shit. I bore the crap out of my wife by going on rants about all kind of weird shit that she's not interested in. So I know a lot about a lot of stuff that I'm going to talk about, because why not? What's the point of having knowledge if you can't share it and enjoy it with people? Should do some like freeze frame thumbnail shots for next time. Try to look interesting. Try to look interested. That's another thing I heard today on the podcast was this guy was talking about what he called secondhand charisma. People try to be charismatic, and they think that being charismatic is important and good, and you want to be interesting to people and stuff. And it's like, that is true, but one probably more valuable way to be charismatic is to make people feel good and it's not by being interesting, it's by being interested and actually listening and making people feel safe and feel like they can and want to share things with you. And when people feel good, most people really like one-sided conversations, which, if that's the case, I recommend you find a basement to talk to your camera and nobody's even replying. This is about the most one-sided conversation that exists. But for the most part, people like to talk about themselves, and people like to feel heard, like to think that other people are interested in what they have to say. And I am, and some people, not everybody. Some people are actually just genuinely boring. I'm often afraid that I'm one of those boring people. I guess we'll see. Believe it or not, I have been making notes about some stuff I want to do, but a lot of it is just kind of going to take a little bit more setup to effectively communicate the idea. So we're going to leave some of it for later. I think I'm actually going to keep it short. I think I'm going to sign off. But I wanted to just keep getting out here, working on the setup, blowing the engine out. It's like when you get a new sports car, they just say you have to go drive it real fast to get the engine broken in. So we're trying to break in the engine on this show right now. And that's all that it really is. But I appreciate your attention, your time. A couple people write me messages. My little main dude Miles out there showing love. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, man. It's going to be it for today. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Much love.
Conspiracy is suspect, and there's a virus in the subtext. But I just wanna go outside